on your break. Like, that's all you do. Like, I know.
Well, cheers and welcome to From Behind the Barcast, the podcast for bartending, service industry, drinking in general. I'm Paxton. We have Clint the Mayonnaise Marauder Moses over there. And today, Kelly with the bad belly couldn't be here.
Poor Kelly's belly.
But we have Franklin and Maddie, two of our very close friends. Thank you guys for joining us. They're going to be switching them cameras around and hopefully boisterously laughing in the background.
If we're funny.
If we're funny.
That famous bathroom, Franklin.
Yeah, yes. If you don't
Franklin from the famous bathroom. That's correct.
That sounds like
to you live from the ceiling in the Huckapoo's bathroom.
It sounds like a cookie company. Franklin's famous ceiling cookie. Thank you to all the patrons for helping us out and getting the AC cut back on. Not really. That was free.
For getting me a massage so I could be here today.
Oh, nice.
My back doesn't work.
You got a little hurt, didn't you?
Yeah.
And so just right in the open. Speaking of patrons and people that we like, I don't know if you can hear it over the microphone, but if you're watching on Spotify or YouTube, I have a Ken Yasker for Governor 2026 shirt on. And he will be holding a rally at Huckapoo's Sunday, September 10th at noon. And I'm personally endorsing him for governor. And he sent me this blurb.
A blurb, huh?
A blurb. Well, that's what I called it.
On Sunday, not on Saturday. You told me Saturday the other day, and I was like, he's going to do a rally during the Georgia game? Because that would be
Sunday. Yeah, it's Sunday.
That makes a lot more sense because then you don't have to fight the football crowd.
So here's the short of it, because I don't want to speak too much for him, but this is what he sent me. He said, so he's a moderate Republican. I'm not a Republican to keep Georgia red or stop Georgia from turning blue. I want Georgia to be red, white, and blue.
Nice.
I was like, bang on right there.
I like that.
In 2016, Trump understandably tapped into the anger Americans felt for the system that led him to a victory. I, instead, want to tap into the deep hidden patriotism the majority of us still have. I want us to love and work together like we did on September 12th, 2001. I want people to remember how capable we are of uniting regardless of our politics that may divide us, and remember how we unite as Americans, not as party members. My goal is to remind people the reason to love the United States of America, again, as much as I do. So, Ken's super cool dude. Check out his website. And if you're local and you can make it to the rally, that's Sunday, September 10th at Huckapoo's at noon.
At noon. So we got an hour before the Falcons game starts.
Hey, yeah.
That's perfect.
You know what? That's a good out, though.
That's a very good out. You can get out because you're like, all right, game's got to start here, man. This crowd's going to get a little raucous for a different reason.
Final question. Thank you. We got to be out here. And so let us know what we are drinking.
Get that crack a little longer than that glass. We are drinking
You just broke it.
from Nomad Winery, a Pinot Noir and a mead. So our good friend Celia sent us some wine. We talked about it a little bit on the podcast. It was quite the ordeal to get wine to us because it sent it to our P.O. box, and it went to Hinesville for some reason. Which is closer if you have a helicopter, I suppose, than a lot of places. But then it went down to Jacksonville.
It went to, what's the capital of Djibouti?
Djibouti.
That's where it went.
Yeah. It might as well have. It looked like like you said, it looked like the package Ace Ventura kicked down the hallway in the beginning of.
If you've ever seen
movie,
the first Ace
he's
Ventura,
just whacking this thing down the hallway to go steal somebody's pet, like a bird or whatever. And he's just punting the damn thing.
He was going to save the pet.
But it was so well packaged, the bottles didn't break. But one of them was missing from the first package. It's like someone may have broken that one bottle because the hat, we have a nice little hat here. The one that I have at home looks like it went through war already.
And it looks all right. So when I saw the hat at first, I was trying to describe it to Clint because he hadn't seen it yet because I had just gotten it. He was like, "What kind of hat is it?" I was like, "Imagine a guy who takes people on kayak tours in Oregon."
See, I was just thinking that's a bucket hat.
But it's not a bucket. Yeah.
It's not a bucket hat. It's a Nomad Winery, which is at 432 North Rend Street in High Point, North Carolina. So they opened in December. They are getting grapes from Willamette to make this delicious Pinot Noir.
What Willamette?
Willamette.
What?
Willamette?
Well, I don't know.
I think it's Willamette.
I'm not from Wisconsin.
In Willamette, that's what they say. But,
it's like Lancaster and Lancaster.
We got Cairo, Georgia, which is definitely Cairo, and many other things.
Cairo, Georgia.
Cairo, Georgia.
And syrup.
The Cairo syrup, exactly. But so this was a red. They've been making wine since December, like I said, so they're very young wines. Next week, we're going to drink the red blend. I'll talk about that then.
Yeah.
Paxton is drinking the mead.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar with mead, mead is made from honey. So the sugars from the honey help make it. They're getting their honey from Hawaii, which we'll get more on that in a minute. But yeah, it's a nice little wine. Like the wine's actually pretty damn good. They sell it in like 5 spots locally. They have it on tap, and they're going to start bottling their own wine in January.
But right now they do these growlers, correct?
Yes, these little growlers.
So what a novel idea, I think, because you go to a brewery for beer,
yes,
and you bring a growler, or you get a growler from them, and then you just bring these back, wash them up, recycle them, I guess,
and bam, and you get more wine in there.
Bam, and you get more mead. And so I feel okay saying this now. We got the mead scent. I was like, last time I had mead, it was called Viking's Blood.
And I'm guessing that was from Fro.
No, it was from a Fro-like person, but older.
Okay.
I won't tell your name.
So, and I was hanging out at his house one night, and I was kind of forced to drink it. And the first sip I took,
Forced by it was the only alcohol in the house.
it was all that was there. And the first sip I took, I thought he was playing a joke on me, and he put pure honey into the thing.
and like old dirty honey.
Oh, it was just viscous. And
But this is delicious.
this, all right.
Let me give you some tasting notes on this here.
So it is the least sweet mead I've ever had, which is amazing. And it's got a crispness to it that mead that I've had before didn't. Well, the mead that I had before tasted like motor oil.
Yeah, so this has got like you smell the honey, a little bit of honeysuckle also in that.
Yeah.
Got a touch of lemon in it.
And I'm
It's-
not a white
it's-
wine guy, but it's close to white wine to me, except it's good instead of bad.
Yeah, it's actually pretty. I could, it's, you want mead to be cold. I think I don't know shit about mead compared to what I know about wine, but that's actually pretty easy to drink. And I think the alcohol content's a little bit lower than regular wine.
Yeah.
But for the most part, mead, like Pinot Noir, is
wait a
going to be
minute.
pretty low alcohol.
Oh God.
You pregnant?
Yeah, I'm pregnant. I should have read this first.
It really ruined the surprise there.
All right, I'm 2 months along.
Not-
All right, y'all don't tell anyone else.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. Thank you, Patreon, for paying for the abortion. So yeah, they do
Plan mead.
Yeah, so they get their other red grapes from they get their other grapes from California. So they've got 6 in-house reds and 6 different meads, and then a couple whites that they do with all their grapes. So they're getting their grapes from there, bringing them here, doing the bottling and everything, and all the process here, or in North Carolina rather. So pretty dope idea. And
I think it's a great idea, especially the growler part.
And I'm rocking their Nomad Wineworks shirt today. So if you're in High Point, North Carolina, check out Nomad Wineworks.
High Point, North Carolina.
High Point, North Carolina.
Go see Celia.
And they have other, like she was saying, there's some wineries in North Carolina. They're in like the western part of the state, but they're grapes in North Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina are going to be Scuppernong or Muscadine. And the Biltmore has a winery. Everyone knows what the Biltmore is. The Biltmore is like a house built by the Vanderbilts in like the late 1800s. It's the largest privately owned home or like private house in the country, or maybe in the world. It's
I thought
giant,
Biltmore was like beef jerky.
probably also.
That's Biltong. Sorry,
Biltong.
Yes.
But yeah, so they're doing the right thing. They're not getting grapes from the area because this is not the best area for growing grapes. Like the climate is too hot, too humid. We don't get, and then when we get too much freeze in North Carolina. We get too much freeze in the winter, so it wouldn't.
And I think like Arizona's probably the furthest east in the country that you can actually do have your own grapes.
Well, Long Island has like I think 130 wineries, something crazy.
Really, with their own grapes?
Yeah, they grow grapes up there. Because you see, so you think about the latitude.
Yeah, sure.
You got Burgundy and you got France, Italy are all same latitude almost with Long Island. So Long Island's pretty even with Oregon, which is why Pinot Noir, aka Burgundy grapes from Oregon, do so well because they're on the same latitude as Burgundy and France, but you get a little bit more off that ocean stuff, so they can get a little more time on the vine.
Yeah,
and they're actually going to have. She said they're going to be trying to get a Bordeaux going here in the next few months, getting some wine from Bordeaux.
That's great,
France,
man.
so.
Yeah, support local-ish, support Southern. And especially, like I said, I just can't get over the growler part. Like beer's already been doing it.
Yeah.
Why not do it with wine?
Exactly. It works out great. It's in glass. And so, like I said, the mead, they get their honey from Hawaii. So, if living in a cave, Hawaii's had a terrible wildfire. It just wiped out an entire city, pretty much. Like it was like one of their older cities. It has our friend Caitlin kind of compared it to like Savannah almost, with like the historic value of that city. Obviously not as old as Savannah, but for Hawaii's purposes, it's a very old city, and it is just wiped off the face of the planet.
Like size as well, or
probably that 25,000 people live there, so it's a lot smaller. But like, just if you were saying downtown Savannah completely burnt to the ground, people were literally getting out of their cars and jumping into the ocean to avoid catching on fire. So it's a pretty terrible travesty. So I'll post a link on this week's synopsis for the podcast. We'll probably get something on the screen, but there's some aid funds you can send money to that are actually legit. and valid because people, as they do, are taking advantage of the situation. Like, people are apparently hitting people up and be like, hey, we'll buy your property right now. Just trying to, like, take advantage of, what a bunch of assholes that is.
Wow.
A bunch of Darrens and Karens doing that shit.
Man, if we'd have mentioned that in the second half, we could have made that well.
Yeah, if we had, I mean, like.
We've got plenty of Karens.
We've got plenty of Karens in there. So, thank you, Celia, again. We love this wine. But, again, send out some money to Hawaii, help, and thoughts and prayers and all that stuff. But it's a little rough.
That's very rough, especially, in terms of size, Hawaii is just so small. Like, a yard fire gets out of control. People are going to be affected.
And it's windy. As it being out in the middle of the ocean. We had a new boss at my place I used to work at a while ago. Whatever.
Just drop it.
We had a new boss at work who moved here like 6 months ago from Maui. He lived there for like 7 years. And like, I didn't know what was going on that day because I just hadn't heard about it. And I was like, are you okay, man? You look a little off today. He's like, yeah. You haven't seen all the stuff happen where I'm from? And I was like, what happened? And I had no idea about it.
It was affecting somewhere in his...
It was affecting just mentally. It was affecting his friends and family out there. It was just a terrible thing happened so fast.
Well, that's an easy segue into this positive story. Okay.
Yeah. So, hey.
So Friday night, this past Friday night, I had a gig at Huckapoo's. Now, listen, don't flame me in the comments. I know people have mentioned something of this sort before, but this is my personal experience with it. So... getting affirmations from people, like the attaboys, good jobs, like in whatever your industry may be. Your boss says, great job turning that wrench, whatever the thing may be. So there's nothing like positive affirmation from a cool-looking black couple, okay? And here's what I mean. You probably already know what I mean. But so I'm playing drums Friday night, and we have a good crowd, a bunch of whites, and if... old white dude comes up and goes, "You rock!" Like, cool, thanks. Cool looking black couple walks in. Dude's got dreads. He's like, not dressed like in a suit, but like dressed like dope, like nice.
The most well dressed person in Huckapoo's, probably.
Yeah. But just like rich, like super stylish. And he just goes, just bobs his head a little bit, looks me in the eye. He looks over at Ben playing guitar.
Gives you the nod, like, yeah.
I'm like, what about the girl? What about his girlfriend? She's like, I was like, we got it.
Did you and Ben make eye contact? Like, yes,
exactly.
Now we're hitting.
So then at set break, they came over and talked to us. He was like, "Hey, man, this is what happened. Let me tell you what just happened. I walked in the door. I looked around this place. I was like, because if you just walk up to Huckapoo's, it looks like it's being held together with spit and duct tape
and record and album covers.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
Staples.
Lots of stapled money.
Franklin's face is holding up the inside of the bathroom.
Supporting the ceiling.
Yeah. So he goes, and then I heard the band playing. He goes, I was going to give y'all 30 seconds to 1 minute.
Damn.
And if it wasn't good, we were leaving. And he goes, obviously we stayed. Nice. So this, and now,
where are they from? Do you know?
DC.
Okay. Oh, nice.
And
there's a good music scene in DC.
He's a musician. I was like,
even better.
So we got bonuses, right? All right. So
did he know Eric?
What?
Well, Eric Culberson plays in Madam's Organ all the time.
Oh, wasn't Eric? Yes.
Eric plays in, has like a.
That's what. Yeah, we told him that, but I'm not sure if we connected those dots or not.
He's 180 years old. I mean, come on.
Yeah, he's been around DC.
He's been around.
Since one of the first Roosevelts, I think. Anyways, so we get to chatting like that, and then I was like, what's funny about that whole trope? The cool black guy tells you that you're good. So I just happen to live with a pretty cool black dude with dreads that does not look unlike this guy.
I'm not black, I'm brown. Travis's famous words.
Travis's best words. I'm brown, MFer. And he gives affirmations to everyone all the time.
Yes,
about everything.
Some wanted, some unwanted.
Some wanted, some unwanted. But
depending on the time of the night, the affirmations go up.
But it's not.
Let me tell you.
But it's not as meaningful, I don't think, if you've heard it 40 times in the past.
Like you said before, like, you and I have said to each other, like, if you got some cool shoes on, they're nice and clean, and a brother's like, damn, those shoes are clean, versus some white guy going, I like your kicks, buddy.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, thanks, dude.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
There is, like, if you're an accountant and some Jewish guy's like, kicking ass over here. Look at the way to do those numbers. You're like, yes.
Got him. It's just, they carry so much more weight. And, well, even if it's like what if like a real suave Italian guy, told you, so, like, those pants have a really nice cut on them. You'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
I'll believe the suave Italian guy about my skinny jeans.
Yeah.
And
your skinny shorts.
Or my skinny shorts, exactly.
Or dress skinny
Hopefully
shorts.
I'm pretty modest right here, yeah.
You're pretty modest, yeah.
I moved my modesty Okay.
I almost bought a. I went and got some shorts the other day. Where I was going to get my
join the 4-inch
massage.
club.
Shout out to
Not
Al.
that 4-inch.
Shout out to Al and Sean Williams for sending me to this massage place to get a bomb ass massage from a guy who didn't speak a lot of English, which was great, quiet. And I need something like on the fly done that day, and like dude took care of me. So while I had to wait between that and the doctor's appointment, I went and got some shorts, and I looked at a pair of like 8-inch shorts and was like,
8. That's
I was
way
like,
too long.
I was like, I don't know if I can do this.
They all have the little you know,
It's just
carrying case inside.
like, what is it? What's the underwear that has like the different pouch for your balls and your dick? Is it
MeUndies,
maybe?
But who would want to? I don't want to
That feels weird.
compartmentalize.
I don't. I mean, maybe when it's hot.
No.
Keep your boys separate. I've never tried them on. I don't know. It feels like it would be.
I'm good.
I actually used to have a pair of boxers. We did a no pants. If you don't know what a no pants party is, back in the day, my friend threw a no pants party. So everyone, you can come. You can't wear pants. So you wear some kind of underwear. One
I
dude.
thought you meant just nothing on the
Well,
long shirts.
One dude just came in just a thong. So But I had a pair of. They were like silk boxers, and it had a gorilla on it holding a banana, and it had where the fly would be was a measuring stick, and it said, "How do you measure up?" And you could kick your dick into the slip of the thing, and and you had to like unfold it. So like if you didn't get past the fold, you're like, "Oh man." The no pants
not for
parties are
everyone.
fun. He threw in 3 no pants parties, and shockingly, there was a lot of hookups after the no pants parties. You wouldn't think everybody was walking around in their underwear getting drunk that you're like, well, hey, I've already seen the goods. Let's do this.
Speaking of,
Sorry, I got you all wrapped up about me in my underwear.
I was, how do you measure up?
Not like Kelly.
Talking about hooking up.
11.5 hard, 10.5 soft.
I'm glad you said that, because when I walked into work yesterday, Sunday, we were really dead, and I had 2 guys sitting there, an Aussie and a Brit.
Were they arguing?
No, they were actually friendly, and I was only hearing the Aussie mostly. Weirdly,
Were they together, or did they?
I don't
together?
see. I couldn't tell. They seemed like they were pretty familiar, and it would be the most like coincidental thing in the world if some random Aussie and a random Brit.
That is true. Yeah.
So they're chatting to each other. And
Now, did you ask them where they were from, or,
yes.
or did you pick up on their accents and go?
I picked up on the Aussie's accent. I go, "Hey, you guys from Australia?" And the Brit goes, "Mate, fuck off. I'm from Liverpool, whatever." And the Aussie was like, "Yeah, I'm from Australia." I was like,
Did you hit him?
is it hot there too?
It's winter.
But what I was trying not to do was parrot their accents, because the hardest thing in the world for me to do is hear an accent. Like when I was on the cruise ship, every Caribbean person, I'd be like, "Hey, what's happening?" I mean, excuse me, I'd like a drink.
Like you said earlier about the cool black guy telling you you're playing the drums well, I don't think the Jamaicans would be happy with your accent.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't want to parrot these people's accents. So they were like, "Well, you look Scottish," or because the Brit had moved from Liverpool to Edinburgh. He asked if I was Scottish or whatever. I was like, "No, I'm Danish and English actually." He goes, "Oh, you took the test?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "You need to go to Copenhagen. All you got to do is speak, and you'll get pussy." And I was like,
thank you,
"All
Patreon.
right."
I'm sitting to Copenhagen.
Yeah, I was like, "Okay."
I didn't think anybody in the world was like, "Ooh, American accents, hell yeah!" But notice this: everybody in the world,
I kind of didn't believe him. Though.
everybody in the world does sing in our accent, right? I mean, it's
Oasis does not.
okay.
A champagne supernova.
I forgot about Oasis till just now. So, but like you talked about what's her name? They used to be fat, but she's not anymore.
Adele.
Adele singing like, "Oh," and then I want it to be the.
She's got the worst.
I'm not going to try to do a Cockney accent, but
I mean, it sounds like she worked at a fish and chip shop.
it looked like she worked at a fish and chip shop for a while there. And now she had like dreaded hair or something. Like
Yeah.
she's going through some changes.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to talk to the Brit about like culture and stuff like that. All he wanted to talk
Did you
about
ask if he likes aubergines?
aubergines.
Aubergines?
I asked him if he liked soccer, and he goes, "No." I was like, "Well, okay.
There goes
What's left?"
Cricket?
All he wanted to talk about was what countries you go to where women are easy.
Okay.
I was like, and then I started thinking back, like, I've seen documentaries about like
South Africa. What's that?
like-
What's the capital of South Africa?
Djibouti,
Yeah, I think so. That's right. Yeah, that place.
Johannesburg.
Johannesburg, easy to get laid, hard not to get AIDS.
But I'd seen this documentary about like Thailand and like sex. Tourism.
Sex tourism, yeah.
It's all Brit. It's all Western Europeans.
Or this weird guy Brian that used to be in downtown Savannah. That was an artist. He used to never wear shoes. Everywhere he would be barefoot with his grocery store ass feet. But every year he took a 2-week vacation to Thailand, and I'm like, all right, look. This is suspect as fuck. If you're just going to Thailand, like, there's a million places to go in the world. It probably costs the same amount to get there.
But it was Thailand
But it was Thailand, like for 4 years in a row. I was like, oh, where'd Brian
Did
go?
he come back with a brighter disposition?
I didn't like him at all, so I don't know.
I didn't care.
Like, he was a weird artist. Like, he would wake up every morning and write his dreams down, like on paper, and then he would paint over the dreams. And that was like, the dreams were his muse. There was lots about little boys in there. I don't know what it was.
See,
Lady boys.
I was about to be like, everyone has their process until you brought the pedophilia into Jesus.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm just hearsay.
I mean,
it was a long time ago.
It is Thailand.
I mean, look, I'm just saying, I would like to go to Thailand to enjoy Thailand, the cuisine. I love Thai food.
Yeah, pho comes from Thailand.
Definitely from Vietnam, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Djibouti.
Yeah. That's the same. They all look the same to you, huh?
I meant to ask you. Speaking of Thailand, you said your masseuse had an accent.
He was Chinese, mainland Chinese.
So we had this discussion.
Because I would go. He's like, thank you. I'm like, he didn't say shit.
We had this discussion the other day because I was like, for me, I can only use a male masseuse because male masseuses are just stronger.
See, I don't need the thunder like Franklin does. Like Franklin's like needs somebody to like dig in all elbows. I'm kind of a wussy when it comes. I usually only go to get a massage when I'm hurting.
Yeah,
like I am right now.
Yeah,
and so like I get it out of necessity instead of like have it like a regular. I might need to make it a regular thing, but and so like when I go, I'm hurting, so I don't want like the ultimate pressure. He did try to stick his elbow up my ass through my ass cheek though. Like I was like, good God, but I could feel like when he just did one side and the other, and I like when he was on the left side, I was like, holy crap, I'm an inch taller on this side.
When I had the sciatica thing, and I was just happened to be dating a chiropractor at that time, she would put her elbow into my butt cheek, basically, and it would send. I mean,
You'd feel it on your leg. Yeah.
I mean, it was almost instant relief. Like she would jam it in there and then move my leg around just a little bit.
Yeah.
And then
I dated a female massage therapist for a year and a half, and like I bet it was great.
Chinese?
No. Sherry.
So she wasn't great then.
She was good. Good. She did a lot of like arm stuff more than her hands because like she'd been doing it for like 8 or 9 years. So she had some more arthritis going on, but like she did a good job.
I wonder if that's like because like musicians get tinnitus in their ears from playing loud shit all the time.
I literally think, every time I get a massage, I'm thinking about if they have
are
arthritis.
they okay? Are they going to need?
Which is like as a server, a bartender, like plantar fasciitis is a big thing.
Yeah,
like like waiter's disease, but what they call it basically. Like so, you get that in your hand. Like I can if I work, I work 4 days straight. On that 4th day, like I could feel it in my left arm where I tend to stack everything on one arm, and then I'm good about getting the hell away. Nothing's worse than a server who can't figure out. All right, you're clearing the table, and then someone asks you a question, and you got to stand there holding, 18 pounds of stuff, which is not a lot, or maybe 7 pounds. But if you're just holding it like this, after a couple of seconds, you're like, oh no.
And that's such a weird self-awareness thing that most customers don't get. Like, all right, I'll literally have like 4 drinks in my hand, and I'm trying to scoop ice, and they're like, excuse me.
I'll just show them the things. I'm like, I'll be right back.
But even if you show them the things, sometimes they're like, what are you showing me all that trash for?
I mean, I've mentioned it 100 times. People are like, I have 2 plates in my hands. Here you go. They're like, where's this? I'm like, in the third hand.
You don't want me to use my third arm, baby.
No, you don't. It's a baby's arm. Is that what you're saying there? I don't know where you're going with that.
I could only carry a grape with it. Anyways, so speaking of carrying grapes, I was in the shower the other day, and we all have irrational fears, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something that like makes no sense to be fearful of, but you are.
Yeah.
Do you have like I'll start the AA meeting here.
People that go to Thailand every year for vacation that's a rational fear, I believe.
So my irrational fear is my feet touching the shower drain. So typically in most houses, in most showers, I mean, your shower head and your spigot and your shower drain are all at the end of the tub or the bath, right? Typically. The house here where we record the podcast, it's nice, big, and square, and the drain is dead in the center. I cannot get my feet anywhere near it.
So you play the drain game where you don't
drain game.
Okay, let me ask you this: when you pee, do you pee into the drain?
I can't even dream of it. When I pee in the
poop,
shower,
do you waffle stop it?
When I pee in the shower, I pee anywhere but the drain because it feels like there's a connection to me.
Do you and the drain?
I mean,
It's like an electrical connection.
Thinking about it right now, like my spine is shivering. So the other day, I ran out of my normal soap.
Paxton, the main drain Willis.
And you shouldn't tell people your irrational fears because then they'll F with you about it. But
at least yours is something people can't walk and throw a drain on you.
Exactly.
So how about a drain cover not on a drain? Like if someone just handed it to you, like a brand new one.
Here's the thing. If I'm not taking a shower, because I have to clean it.
Yeah.
When I'm not taking a shower.
No problems?
No problems.
What about
I mean, it's normally because I've already hit it with
So it's only when
bleach.
you're naked you're afraid of drains.
When I'm naked, there's water running and I'm standing over it.
So what if a girl wants to take a shower? Are you in there awkwardly trying to avoid
Yes.
the drain?
100%. I have the road map.
So you need a shower where the drain's at the end, like a tub shower.
All right, so the shower I just came from in my last house, it had a drain on the end, but
the ceiling was
the
like
ceiling
this,
was
yeah.
in the way, so I couldn't stand
I remember
up
the first time I
straight.
went to pee in your house. I was
Yeah.
like, what the hell?
This one I can do a cartwheel in, except I would have to dodge the drain in the center,
All right,
right?
so I've got one.
No, hold on, I'm not done.
Sorry, I thought you drained it all out.
So I didn't drain it yet. I haven't drained
pulled the plug?
I haven't drained the creek yet. So I switched soaps because I ran out of my soap and I went and I got some old soap that I used to use in like a pump bottle, but I'd forgotten why I stopped using it. It's because once you wash and it gets onto the tile, it is very slippery.
Are you sure it's not like conditioner?
Yeah. I washed my hair. If y'all don't know, I washed my hair with conditioner for 2 months, thinking it was shampoo.
Your hair is bright, fluffy, but a little greasy.
So I use the soap. I forget it's the slippery kind, and I go to take a step, and I slip, and I'm about to fall. My life did not flash before my eyes. I was not scared of dying.
You were scared of?
I was scared of my body touching that fucking drain.
Not just your feet. Like if your butt hit on the drain, it would be over.
Anything. I was like, if my body touches that drain, I will die. And in my note, it is death greater than body touching.
You'll take the pain, you land, break your leg. You're like, whoo, didn't touch the drain though.
I will take another
As the ambulance is
dislocated
coming
shoulder.
to get you out of the shower, you're like, don't do it. Hey,
No,
fast.
during the 911 call, listen, I need help.
But first,
One caveat: I cannot touch the drain on the way out.
touch the
I know
drain.
it sounds weird.
what if something was covering? Like, what if that happened and they took something and they covered the drain with it,
So
like a rag?
If I am a poor, so I use wash rags. So yeah,
If the wash rag was over the drain, you might be okay.
and then someone else would have to remove it and throw it away for me.
Throw it away. You
I
can't
wouldn't
wash
touch it. I wouldn't
You can't
touch
wash
it.
the
No,
rag. It's
that's
over.
it. That's
it's
it.
trash. Okay.
What's your irrational fear?
Okay. My irrational fear. I've worked in fine dining, upscale dining for a long time, and a big thing is little, like tea lights, kind of, or oil candles. So I worked at 45 Bistro, and the owner there is a frugal man, very frugal. His people are known to be frugal.
Dan Frugalman.
Dan Frugalmanstein.
Yeah.
So they had these nice candles on the like candles on the table that were glass, and you put lighter oil in there. So what he would do, instead of having to buy oil, he had an entire, like, the propane tank you have at your house sometimes.
Yeah.
He had one of those with like oil for the lamps at his house that he would then fill up like 5-gallon gas tanks with, bring it to the restaurant, and you would pour that into like an old liquor bottle, and then pour it with a pour spout, pour that into the lamps to make oil. I don't like getting oil on me hands. I feel like I can never get it off. So like I would put on gloves when I'm doing that, and people are like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "Look." Like when I would change other restaurants, when you change out those little, they had the glass on the table with the little candle,
the
thing
little
in it.
tea candle in it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a 10-hour burn on it. I put gloves on to do all that. Regular candles with wax, no problems. But the oil, I feel like I can never get it off my hands.
Now, what about like when you cook, like olive oil, things like that?
Just fine.
Nothing.
It's just burning oil that bothers me.
Citronella, I could understand because as soon as that
Citronella is kind of in the middle.
really, well, see, citronella as soon as it touches you,
But it's got a
smelling like-
purpose. If it's on you, it's going to keep bugs away.
Yes.
So, like, it's better than just oil. It's just all you can do is catch on fire. Better.
I'd rather catch on fire than touch a shower drain. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that much right now. Well,
Before we take a break, I
okay.
just want everybody to remember something.
Oh, God.
We are less than 3 weeks away from the return of the University of Georgia two-time national champions season starting. And, man, I can't fucking wait for football. I've watched 3 games this week because I've been laid up with a hurt back, so I've watched
You
3
mean
old
like-
football games. Like games from last year.
Okay.
I watched the national championship game.
I'm glad
I can't watch the Ohio State game because we almost we barely won that game. It gives me full on anxiety.
Yeah.
However, though, someone did make a meme of Megan Rapinoe missing her penalty kick with the kick for Ohio State that went way wide left, and I was like, "Damn, that's cold."
I'm glad you said that because one of my last interactions last night at work was this group that came up and they go, "Hey, could you please turn the Saints game on?" And I was like,
The preseason game?
"Yeah, not only that.
Hold on, tell me they were cheering because their team won a preseason game. Because nothing is lamer than someone being like, "We won." I'm like, it does not matter.
It's so much worse. You don't even know.
Preseason games don't matter. It's just evaluating
It's
talent.
worse than that, buddy. So I was like, okay, turn it to NFL Network. We get about 30 minutes in, and I look up, and I go, you guys are watching a replay from yesterday?
I mean, so
they were insistent. They thought the game was live.
Why didn't you bet them on who was going to win then?
I guess I could have researched
you could have just looked up and like, who won this game? Like, all right. But the thing is, like, it doesn't matter who wins preseason games. You're just evaluating talent. But the Ravens have won I think 20 something, like an insane amount of preseason games straight, which doesn't mean anything. But they keep winning every preseason game.
I think any team that's
Maybe
ever
it's just
gone
Jim Harbaugh's got to have it.
every NFL team that's ever gone 4-0 in the preseason has tanked the rest of the season. I think it's like science.
It's something like that. Well, now it's 3, and I think they play 3 games now.
Yeah, whatever.
They took a game away.
If they win every preseason game,
because only the first half of the game is important. Because then after that, it's just people that probably aren't going to make the team.
It's like the Madden curse. If you make the cover of Madden football, you get injured.
You get injured the next year.
Next year.
That's been broken recently though. But for years, it was like. But it was also like running backs a lot.
I wonder if it was when Madden died. If he literally took his curse to the grave with him.
Think about it. You know what? I'll look that up on the break.
Let's look it up.
So when we come back, we're going to talk about our boys' night out, the Monday before, I don't know, sometime in the last few weeks. That
Our Miles Monday, where we all actually went out.
Kelly's not here for it. Should we save it for when Kelly comes back?
Maybe. We'll think about it during the break. But it was, Kelly don't say shit anyways.
He's listening to this? I hope you feel better. I messaged him and said, hey, coming from the mainland, do you need anything?
Let's just see. All right, nobody tell Kelly that we talked about him, okay? And let's see if that piece of shit even listens.
Well, that didn't help.
We love you, Kelly, and we'll see you after the break. Ever wanted to start a podcast? Don't have the equipment or the know-how? Well, we've got you covered. From Behind the Barcast is expanding into the commercial studio space. You see, step one is making sure you sound great, because no matter how good your content may be, people don't want to listen to something that sounds like this. From Behind the Barcast and Paxton Eugene Productions now offer in-studio audio and video production. Or the studio can come to you. We offer mobile podcast production from wherever you are. Now, with the hard part out of the way, there's no excuse for you not to get started. So if you're in the Savannah area, shoot us an email at FromBehindTheBarcast@gmail.com for details and a quote. Again, that's FromBehindTheBarcast@gmail.com, and let's get your voice heard. Math exists. Welcome back to From Behind the Barcast, podcast for bartending, service industry, drinking in general, the second half, and now food. Fine food.
Fine food. So I called Paxton today. Well, it was before pre-podcast. I was like, hey, what you doing? And he gives me this super long burp. I mean, I was walking my dog, and I took 12 steps while you were burping. I was like, good God. And I said, what did you just get done eating?
All right, so all right. It's a weird kind of speedball that I did today. So I got up, and I made a Chemex of coffee.
For those of you unfamiliar, that's like a pot of coffee.
Yeah, it's
a whole pot of coffee.
It's a whole white baby, bro. So then I poured that over ice, started drinking. I was like, you know what? I need a little milk for this because I used the Cafe Bustelo, which is like an espresso grind, and it was crazy. I mixed the milk into it, made the iced coffee, drank it. I am zooming. So I was like, okay, I did my workout, did a little bit of kettlebells, and I had a steak. Cooked the steak up, nice medium rare, started eating it. I was like, I have half a pack of ramen that I haven't used yet. So I told Clint, he was like, what's up with you? I was like, man, I just ate steak and ramen. He goes, wait a minute.
I was like, what is that?
Did you make ramen and then put a ribeye on top of it? I was like, no.
How'd you cut the steak while it's floating in soup? I mean, there's so many questions here.
No,
was it
no,
beef
sir.
ramen?
It was at least
It was beef ramen. You could have done surf and turf and had shrimp ramen.
Why did I think of
If you're going to eat a steak and ramen, I think you should go shrimp ramen. You have surf and turf ramen.
I mean, especially with a highfalutin of a chef as I am.
And the low salt content of ramen seasoning.
So I ate the steak and ramen, and I was a little low. And I remembered you brought me like 8 emergency packets the other day. So I ripped open an emergency packet, and I just chugged it, and then the phone rang. And I don't know if that thing's got bubbles in it or not. I mean, it's not like an Alka-Seltzer.
I mean,
I chugged it, and I was like, Clint.
I just like, hello. How
It
are you?
echoed through your neighborhood, I think.
Yeah. I had to turn it down just to make sure my neighbors.
But that was the fine food that I ate today. Now look,
I mean, you know, I'm no chef. I play one on TV sometimes.
I gave you some shit about what you ate.
So what I ate
And
is
then
what
I
I
turned around
So
and
I
ate
told
some.
you this last Monday when you came to the house and we had our shortened podcast. I said I've been thinking about putting this meal together, and then it happened that some of the ingredients were on sale the next week at Publix, and I like to be like, all right, what to focus on what I'm going to eat. I'm like, what's on sale? And we'll do that. Like I bought ribeyes, and I saved $1.98. 2 ribeyes, like what? But whatever.
Good enough reason.
It's $2, buddy. It's $2.
Whenever we didn't get to talk about this last week. I gotta interrupt you, but you posted it on Instagram. We walk in. We just happened to show up at Publix at the same time last week, unplanned.
We
walked in the door. He goes, without looking, he goes, Duke's mayonnaise on sale, 2 for $5, right over in that
Yeah,
direction.
I will get one. I know where everything's at in there.
So I went and bought one. I bought 2 of them.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't need 2 64-ounce bottles of this, so I left one on the hood of his car.
So I walked out of Publix and was like, well, somebody here knows me very well. They know me. They know what my car looks like.
I've got a mayonnaise stalker.
Yeah.
All right. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I had to
And I
get
just
that out.
chugged it in the parking lot.
Because I'm sure, like, you put that on Instagram last week. I just wanted to give it some context.
And I just chugged it in the parking lot. It was the squirt bottle, too. So it's like, yeah. And then I burped like you did.
I'm sorry for interrupting.
It's okay. It's okay. It worked well. When you got a mayo, you got a mayo.
Mayo.
I know how it is.
Mayo for sure.
So this didn't actually have any mayo in it, but it's Laura's organic shells and cheese, 4-cheese blend.
Is that the one with the little bunny on it? No, that's Annie's.
It's Annie's. There's Annie's and Laura's, I think, are the 2 organic
Okay.
brands. But
Those are the
bigger
white
ones.
women.
Yeah.
Rich white women.
Yeah.
Yeah. Macaronis.
They smell like patchouli, probably. They probably live in Oregon.
Or at least sage.
Yeah.
They got
Or
a
both.
hat, like their husband wears a hat like that.
Yeah. He wears jeans, no belt. He's just so skinny.
Yeah.
Tucked in.
Tucked
Not
in.
tucked in. That's the word. Look, anyways.
Cell phone on the outside or the inside?
If your shirt's tucked into your jeans,
We
you don't
talk
have a
about
belt
my
on.
dad right now.
Boom, roasted.
Complete the look. White New Balances, even with shorts on, and calf high socks, jean jacket.
Oh, man. Complete the look.
Yeah. So let's complete this meal. So the Laura's 4-cheese shells and cheese.
Okay.
And on sale were Hebrew National hot dogs. Now, I know the trick of Publix. It says buy one, get one free. No, it ain't. It just means it's half off. So I just got one pack. Yeah,
I learned that about Kroger. It's like 10 avocados for $10. You can get 4 and they're $4.
Yeah.
You don't have to get all 10.
And you don't have to put the organic code in if you don't want to. Stealing. And so I bought a pack.
Life packs. All right.
Yeah. I bought a 5-pack of Hebrew National hot dogs. But pre-sliced mushrooms were on sale. Back's hurt. Don't want to do too much cooking in the kitchen, Bought some mushrooms. And I'm like, oh, you know what? Bacon's on sale, too. Let's get a packet of bacon. Oh, Tillamook cheese. Really nice high-end cheese. Buy one, get one. So I get the Mexican 4-cheese blend of the Tillamook already shredded cheese. And it's a thick shred.
We're at Ocho Quesos
I'm
right
going to say
now.
some of those quesos ran over into each other. Came home, cooked the bacon, sauteed onions, a lot of garlic, and hot dogs that I sliced up in the pan.
Like beanie weenie.
Reduced the onions down, garlic down first, then added the hot dog sliced
Don't
down.
say reduced in this recipe right now. Don't use those chefy terms like that in this
A
goddamn.
splash of white wine. Cooked the wine out. As the hot dog started to curl, I then chopped the bacon, threw the bacon, everything.
Crisp up the hot dog lardons.
Hot dog lardons. There it is.
That's the episode.
That's the episode right there. And so I chopped all that. I put it all in my nice Le Creuset Dutch oven.
Shut the fuck
and stir it all up with the cheese sauce. Then I put the cheese. A pro tip here: when you get cheese sauce out of a bag of macaroni and cheese, you put that motherfucking thing in some hot water. Change the water twice till it gets it all nice and melty, so you can get every square inch of cheese out of there. Because look, bro, I know how to roll a joint unlike you. I take that packet of cheese when it's almost gone, and I roll it up real tight like it's a damn tube of toothpaste to get every bit of cheese out of that thing. Because then I go, well, I don't have enough cheese. 4 cheese. Make it rain.
Did
the 4 cheese blend.
you say pro tip?
Yeah.
You meant po tip.
Po tip. It's a po tip. So I mixed all that together, and I ate it. I ate about a third of it, and was like, all right, you have to stop. Like, put it in a container, cover it, put it in the fridge. Usually I let things sit for a minute to cool off. I was like, get out of my sight. You're not, I've been, my back's been messed up, so I've been eating weed all the time. And, which is also not a good for me. I made wheat cookies with wheat butter because I made wheat linguine on our podcast before last.
Yep.
So I had the butter left, so I made cookies. I like cookies if I have them, but that's why I don't buy cookies and sweets.
Yeah.
But I made Reese's Pieces cookies, which is dumb because you know what I love? Reese's anything.
Yeah, right.
And so I ended up, like, I'm just snacking on the cookies, forgetting I'm about to be high as shit also.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll just, nibble here anyway. So this is obviously this meal brought to you by marijuana. So I got done eating, and I kind of start to clean up and go, nope, dog walk forever. And I walked my dog, albeit at a medium pace because of the back, 2 laps around, then let him run in the field, and then came back, did the dishes, took a shower, did anything I could do to avoid sitting down for like an hour and a half because I was such a heavy load.
I mean,
you've
you've been comatose immediately.
Yeah. I don't eat that much, shells,
Yeah.
which I don't know how shell became a pasta shape, but it is.
Huh, I wonder. Yeah, Orecchiette looks like shells.
Yeah. Yeah, there's another one too. There's a lot of pastas.
There's a lot of pastas.
That's a lot of sandwich.
Well,
but
what it sounds like.
the thing is, it
sounds like a prepper.
delicious. Oh, wait, and the mushrooms. And I put the mushrooms
It
in
sounds
there
like
too.
a prepper meal to me. Like but I love that it's like whatever's on sale is what's going into
Everything
this dish.
was on sale. The shells and cheese were half off.
All right, so and I'm not giving you shit about it because most times when I walk into the grocery
My
store,
doctor might, but yeah.
when I walk into the grocery store, it's like I am kind of like what's on sale, but not at all cost. I'm like, okay, avocados are on sale. Let me go grab some cilantro and tomatoes and some tortillas.
Yeah, I just help the sales make a meal.
Yeah. If something's on sale,
Look, man, when I get high, I'll text my friends and go, which one of these 3 movies should I watch? Because I can't. I'll narrow it down. Like, I'll do that if I'm dating a girl or hang out with somebody, staying the weekend at your house, met a girl, guy, whatever. I was like, hey, let's watch one of these 4 things. They're like, you can decide. I'm like, look here. I took the entire catalog of movies of all time and narrowed it down to 4. You got to pick one of these 4. Are you that girl?
I watch the same thing. Oh, I watch the same stuff over and over. So it's pretty much he just clicks on the same 4 movies for me over and
Likewise.
over.
Okay.
But I
Likewise.
read a lot.
Is one of those
so-
an Adam Sandler movie?
Yeah, it's 50 First Dates.
Clint Tradamus over here, and then Franklin's over there like,
I had a little tip. I had a little nudge in the right direction at the break when Franklin's like, she listens to murder mystery podcasts all the time. Will not watch No Country for Old Men. And Frank, what did you say, Franklin? What's the sound of No Country for Old Men? Get on that mic, baby.
Anticipation when your dad's about to come home in an hour to beat your ass.
you know that
It's the quote of the week.
we all know that feeling.
It's
where
the
like,
anticipation of your dad's going to be home in an
my-
hour to beat
so-
your ass. That's good.
my stepdad, anytime it was time for ass whooping, he would always give me the 30-minute warning. It's sadistic. Like, go in your room. I'll see you at 4:30. 4:30 rolls around. He's still not there. You're like, I know I'm going to get my ass whooped any minute. So, and when I was a kid, I used to put like 5 pair of underwear into
I was about to ask you just some padding.
into the bathroom because we had the basket with the toilet paper in it.
Yeah.
And there's a little towel on the bottom. So I'd hide all the underwear underneath the towel.
For
So
cum rags?
So if I was going to get my ass whooped, I'd be like, gotta pee first. I'd pop on 5 pairs of underwear, come back out and be like, ew, I'm sorry.
Did you ever get the choice? So,
Hand or belt?
come here, yeah. So my dad gave me a choice a couple times. He goes, and he would write, like I would accuse them of not changing the punishment if I lied or not. Like, tell me the truth, what happens? And if I didn't tell the truth, the punishment would change, I guess. But I was like, look, I don't know. I think you're just doing the punishment regardless. So he would write down truth, half truth, whole truth on a piece of paper. And then after whatever the story was happening, he would show me what my options had been decided of punishment based off of how forthcoming I was with the true story. And he did this only, I think, a couple times. He was like, you can get a week's restriction or you can get the hairbrush. Because he didn't use a belt. He used this big-backed hairbrush, which is weird for a bald guy to beat you with a hairbrush. Some kind of weird revenge. But then he would...
It's like a sawed-off paddle.
Exactly. And I'd have to go in the laundry room and bend over the washing machine.
Yeah.
And he'd just stand there for a while. He's just stretching you out. You're waiting. You're waiting for that beating. But 1 week's restriction or a little bit of pain for a minute.
Come on, bro.
Beat the hell out.
I'm taking the pain.
You can punch me once. I don't care.
Yeah. Slap me in the face. I'm going to backhand me.
Exactly.
Because back then, restriction was you couldn't ride your bike outside. The TV was off. The Nintendo was out of your room.
I'll tell the story about when I took a guy's kidney out with a scooter one time on the podcast later on. But my restriction for that it was a month, and then I had to see him ride by the front window on his bicycle. I had to know that he was out of the house, so I couldn't leave the house technically until he could leave the house. So like when I saw him outside, it was time to go. And I told him that like years later. He was like, "Man, I never would have came by your house again."
Damn, what a guy! Yeah.
Man,
you know what else is like extreme punishment to me? Whenever the lottery gets really high up there, like towards the $1 billion mark.
When the billboard just has 999 on
when
it.
It only has 999.
I'm passing the way home to work all the time, and I'm like, I would love to win that, and I'd fantasize about it while I drive home and not spend $1 on lottery tickets.
Yeah.
The chances of you winning that lottery are bananas.
And
on another
look,
level.
I don't mind, I don't buy them, but I don't begrudge anyone for doing it. But what I do begrudge is if I walk into the goddamn store and I hear another person go, pick me 5 numbers for that big lottery and pick the right ones, okay? And I'm watching the cashier like, this is the 19th time I've heard this in the past 5 minutes.
Dude, all right, when you have customers at work, in a serving food, mainly restaurant, hey, how's everything? Can I get you anything else? Yeah, let me get those winning lottery numbers for that big pot. Like, I bet you were giving a Kroger card to your server 2 years ago, weren't you? Can I get this?
I bet you were giving him a library card. Do you take library cards?
Like, if you think you've got a joke about paying the bill the server hasn't heard, guess a fucking again. You don't have any joke the server hasn't heard.
If you think we got a clip about winning the lottery
when
at the
there's
store.
grains in the man's beard, buddy. Like when I have to ID everybody where I work today. Right now, where I work. There you go. Hey, just a little load off for you.
We've grown.
But you have to ID everybody.
Yeah.
Because it's on every street, and they're strict about it, even if they're 80 years old. So I have the same few lines, like 28 or 88. I got to ID everybody. And like, isn't the gray enough? No. I'm asking you, and I tell people, I go, I need to see everybody's ID. I know it's stupid. I hate doing this. And they're like, oh, is this a joke? I'm like, when they told me, I thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
I have to do it. And what I'd like people to go, that's fine, I don't mind. Or they're like, oh, you should have told me you had to because you would have flattered me. I'm like, yeah, I know, lady, you're old. It's fine. I'm not judging your age. But I do like the old guy that goes, all right, how old am I? And I'm like, do you want me to really tell you? And I'm within 2 to 3 years every time.
Really?
Dude, I got the auctioneer voice.
You should work at you should work at a carnival, man.
The amount of times I get, have you ever thought about being an auctioneer? No one's ever brought that up.
Did you used to be on the Micro Machines commercials? Remember the Scatman Brothers?
I honestly looked into being an auctioneer. 2 years apprenticeship. I'm not going to.
Wait,
You can't teach me to talk fast.
Stop. 2 years apprentice. You know
when I looked into it, this was 20 years ago, but it was 2 years apprenticeship to be an auctioneer.
It's easier to officiate weddings than that. All you need is $20 and a pulse.
What's the bride? $20 for the bride. $20 for the bride. Yeah.
Oh, my God. That is good.
What do I need to train for, bro?
2 years apprenticeship.
Now, don't jump 20 to 25. You want to hit 22 in the middle.
Oh, speaking of like, I'm not good necessarily at ages, and especially if people ask me to like tell them what they are, I'll just automatically shoot super low just to.
I mean, you can read the person for that.
Sure, yeah, you got to read the room.
It's my birthday. Guess what year? I'm like 19
in the 19s somewhere.
Yeah.
I was watching this thing, Ghana, where Jim Jones took all them people to have suicide.
Mm-hmm.
So Mennonites started moving down there so that they could have their own like little piece of land where they could, live God's word or whatever. Because like not.
Are they polygamous too?
No, they're not. No, the Mennonites were polygamous.
Okay.
So I'm watching this documentary, and they go, "This is Abraham, the leader of the."
I love the way people say Abraham.
Abraham.
I love Abraham. Abraham. I'm like
Abraham. And so they're in a South American country, right? Ghana's in South America, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. They're in a South American country. They speak. They speak Pennsylvania Dutch mostly and English. And Abraham was a 42-year-old. This man looked like he was 70. And I was like, y'all don't drink, well, they fornicate a lot because they have a lot of kids.
Yeah.
They're almost like the Mormons where it's like the more kids you have, the more afterlife you have, like the bigger your planet is or something like that.
I don't know if the Mennonites are bigger than Zizu or whatever the hell the volcanic mountain where you float your spirits out of. Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, that guy's 42. I'm 42.
And just,
I think it's just because he works.
they're in the sun a lot.
They're in the sun a lot.
They're up early.
Yeah. So then a faction broke
You
off.
haven't changed any wagon wheels in your life, and it shows.
Yeah, and I haven't played that song either in my life. So you know who would play that kind of song?
I do.
Oh shit! It's the Karen of the
I thought it was
week.
somebody else.
It's the Karen of the week.
Not me. Oh shit. This week, I'm gonna combine my two Karens into one because they happened over 2 separate weekends and we didn't get to record last week. But same sort of idea. And this calls back to one of your Karens from a couple weeks ago. If you're in the South or anywhere in the U.S. right now, you probably noticed that it's a bit warm outside. Hot, even.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Lady, I believe her name was Karen, walks up to me, orders a beer. Miller Lite in the can. I open Miller Lite in the can and hand it to her. She holds it in her hand. She talks to her friends. She does this. She does that. She's 10 minutes, 15 minutes pass. She goes, hey, the beer you gave me was warm.
And she's just warming it up with her.
She is
death gripping it.
She is hugging.
I'm very conscious of that in the summer months. Like, don't hold your drink. If you have
Yeah.
like a Yeti, don't hold your drink because you're just going to make it warmer. I'll do that with wine, though. I get wine too cold. I put my little hands around it.
But she had all of her friends around her were super nice, so I didn't want to give her much shit about it. You know what I mean? So I just replaced the beer anyways. It's a $2 Miller Lite. Who gives a shit? So I replaced it anyways. And so then I'm kind of looking around.
So when you sell, if you sold koozies, you'd be like, hey, this may help you.
Yeah, right.
For $5, you can.
It still wouldn't have helped. Her hot hands.
Big grip.
Yeah, big grip, and from slapping her kids around, you get a really hot hand from doing that.
Yeah.
Popping them on the face. So then the week before that, we were outside, and again, it's warm. It's the summer. During the summer, typically down here on Tybee, it rains 4 times a day at 4 separate times.
Yeah.
Right? So it had already rained once. It had kind of dried up, still in the afternoon a little bit.
Make sure the humidity stays at 100%.
Yeah, the humidity's always. It's 2 ladies sitting there. They order a slice of pizza. The pizza comes out. They haven't touched it yet. The pizza's hot still. They haven't touched it yet. Rain starts to fall. It's like, hey guys, look, here's your safe spots.
Yeah.
Out here at the outside bar. Okay, thank you. They move. They don't move the pizza. I'm looking at the pizza like, I don't want to, I'm not going to reach over. Here comes some more rain. Here comes some more rain. They won't shut the fuck up talking to each other.
The pizza's just getting drizzled on.
It is. Now it's pizza soup.
Nice.
The lady turns to it and she goes, I want a new piece of pizza. This one is soaking wet.
So did you?
I said, coming right up. And I faked writing a ticket.
Took that slice, put it in the oven for a minute.
I walked into the kitchen.
Put it in the oven and dry it out.
I fake wrote a ticket, walked into the kitchen. I said, hey, boys, what's up? Walked back out. I was like, don't worry, won't be long. 10-minute probationary period. Then I actually went and put it in.
That's nice.
Yeah, I mean, I did get it replaced, but I was like, do not rush on this thing. It was probably 40 minutes later. And I was waiting for the rain.
To come back on?
To come back.
Come on.
God himself said, Paxton,
I got your back.
I got your back. I set that slice down. Skadoosh.
Did you go, hey?
And I was like, hey, look out. The thing that's falling from the sky. That's going to get back on the pizza. And it's going to become pizza soup again. Karen. So, yeah. Be aware if you're outside that you're going to be, there's things called elements, earth, wind, fire, water, and umami.
Yeah, I had a table one time do that. Complain about the rain. My food got wet. Motherfucker, you said outside?
Yeah, so when you're outside, it's either hot or cold. It's either dry or wet. It's either windy or not. Ooh, this is a good look for your Karen.
So, speaking of Karens, hey, how are y'all?
Hey.
Sorry, hey, how are y'all? Where's my goddamn server? Karen sits down outside.
Does she?
In the heat.
It's hot here.
Hot here. Real hot. Real hot. I'm not having a great day. Back's not feeling too good. I'm a little testy.
This is you, not
This is me.
Yeah.
This is me, not Karen. I'm a little testy. However, they look like a cool couple. Hey, can I do? You guys are fine. There's gonna be y'all having. I always ask outside tables, are you going to be eating? Because if you're just going to drink, you can go to the bar, get your drinks, and sit your ass back down out here, and I don't care. But if you're going to eat at least 2 things, that's whatever. Then I'll deal with you. So hey, what do you want? She's like, I want a coconut mojito. I'm like, well, we actually don't have coconut mojito, like, coconut substitutes with coconut liqueur, right? I'm like, we do have a coconut, rum. We can make you Malibu to make you your mojito. She's like, fine. So I was like, all right, cool. Husband gets a Mick Ultra. Bring them both of the drinks out. Come back. 10 minutes go by. I give people outside a long time. I don't want to stand there for a while. Hey, how's everything? There's not really a lot of coconut in this mojito. I'm like, well, all we have is coconut rum, so it can't be super coconutty. But she's like, well, it's kind of limey and minty. I'm like, well, is there a lot of lime and mint in your mojito? Fuck.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wild. Is there wine in your Chardonnay? Fucking Karen. So, I'm not feeling great. I want to be a dick, and we have the director of operations there. I'm like, hey, this is what's going on out here with K-Dog. What do you think? What should I tell her? Because I know she's going to tell me. I can tell her what I want to tell her, which is I can give you another shot for $5, whatever the cost of the shot is, or I can make you a hole in their drink, flat, and put if you want the extra shot, make it more coconut. But we don't have coconut flavored anything. I was like, all right, cool. Went and told her that. She's like, I don't know. Do you have coconut shrimp here? And I was like, we don't. We have just what's on the menu. She's like, oysters? I'm like, just the ones that are on the menu. She's like, you don't have fresh local oysters? I'm like, it's not oyster season. It's August. It's hot. You don't want oysters out of the water right now. Well, that place next door has them. I'm like, they do. And if you'd like to go over there and enjoy some oysters, I wouldn't blame you. You can get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, if you'd like some diarrhea.
Can you just make me some coconut shrimp? Hey, remember earlier when I told you we didn't have any coconut stuff? We can't do that. Also, no baked potatoes, lady. Like, we're not going to do this for you. She's like, you know what? Fine. Just bring me my bill. How much is the beer? I'm like, it's $5 exactly with tax added. I'll be right back. So I go get my little machine. I come right back, and she is taking the $5 bill and goes, here you go, buddy, and sticks it into the water glass that was on the table and walks off. My back hurts. My back was hurting then. If not, I might have lost my job because I might have thrown the glass of water on her. Sticks the $5 into the water. I walked back in, walked directly to the manager and was like, this bitch. Again, she goes, why is that wet? I'm like, she stuck it in the water. She's like, is it really that wet? I'm like, hit her on the arm with it. I'm like, there you go. She's like, what the? So she storms out the door. I'm like, get her. She didn't get away. Karen screwed. It's hard to find somebody on busy River Street, but
go find that Karen. Oh, they're all.
But
they're all.
Not to be outdone. This lady inside saw this guy looks like he's having a hard time. Well, guys got a text from the Karen network. Yep, that guy needs to be fucked with. So here's Karen's little sister, about 24 years old. Hey, I'm gonna get the scallop appetizer. We're at a Scallops right now. We actually just ran out like a couple minutes ago. She's like, all right, well, can I have, time goes by, I come back to the table. I'll have the shrimp and scallop pasta. I'm like, we're out of scallops, so there's be extra shrimp. She's like, well, can I have crab in there instead of scallops? I'm like, yeah, it'll just be picked apart crab. Like, I can't give you crab legs in there. She's like, well, we really came here for the scallops. I'm like, well, we don't have any scallops. She's like, we'll think about it for a little while. All right, I come back. Any questions? Sure you don't have like any scallops back there at all? And I was like, what? She's like, I mean, maybe you can get some from next door. And I was like, nah, we don't have any scallops. I'll think about it for a little longer. Okay. They get one app. I'm giving them all the time in the world. I'm talking to everybody else. I'm in the same room with them. I'm ignoring them. Like, she keeps trying to get me. I'm like, you dumb bitch. I come back to the table. You know what she asked me? Hey, do you guys get a chance to find these scallops? Maybe you just need to thaw them out. And I'm like, actually, that's the password. You ask 3 times if I've got scallops, and I've got fucking scallops now.
Beetlejuice.
You had to say it 3 times, and you slid in because you knew our secret. Like, it's like a secret menu item. I tell you I'm out of this thing repeatedly, but you ask so much, I go, you know what? Surprise, they were in my butt crack the whole time. Here's your ass scallops, Karen.
Scallops ass cargo.
Scallops ass cargo. But thankfully, in the room with
I didn't know that most people didn't know that. Is if you ask for an item that they don't have, is if you ask it the 3rd time, like Beetlejuice, it appears magically.
Thank God there's a 7-top in the room. This is a small room where every table can hear every other table.
Yeah.
And I thought this isn't being the most Karen Darren heavy room because of the proximity. It leads to the audacity of said Karens or Darrens being broadcast to others, which you could commiserate with after the Karen and Darren outbreak. Like the guy that tried to fight me for the story I never told.
It can go both ways, though.
Yeah.
Either you get sympathy from the other tables, or this other Karen's like, I'm not to be outdone. They Costanza.
Yeah, the Karen squared.
Yeah.
So the 7-top, they're all early 20s. hey guys, here's the drinks I really enjoy. I'll be back in a minute. I just need to see everybody's ID. I come back. One person has all 7 IDs in their hand. Boom, 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 boom. Knock them all out. I didn't look at their faces because they were so organized. I was happy. Hey, is this going to be on one check? And then Gordo goes, one check, we'll Venmo each other. And I'm like, thank you.
I love you.
I said, I love you the most. Whatever you want, you get it first. Because she really, it kind of helps some.
That table of kids I told you about 2 weeks ago, where I said they were like,
yeah,
we're all gonna. I go, I love you, and then when I walked away, they go, we love you too. I thought they listened to your mom's house.
Oh yeah,
I love you too.
We love you, jeans. Oh, I poop. But it got worse for this table though. One girl's sandwich comes out, and there is a lengthy piece of hair in the sandwich. And she goes, hey, I'm sorry to say this, but there's a hair in my sandwich. I'm like, why are you sorry? We're sorry. She apologizes through the whole. I'm like, look, I'll be right back. Do you want something different? She's like, no, just make that again without any hair or tomatoes in it. And I was like, oh, we got one part right. I didn't know I needed to put open prep, no hair, please. So, because all she did was cut the sandwich in half.
Yeah.
There's the hair in there.
Most of the
she's like,
sandwich, yeah.
And so I'm like, I go back to the kitchen. Hey, there's a legit hair in this. Show the manager and the kitchen guys. Which, as a lot of kitchen guys do, they're not going to apologize for anything they do wrong, but you fuck up one thing, you better suck someone's dick back there.
Yeah, it's always the front of house's fault.
Yeah. So he's like, one guy goes, well, I don't know whose hair it could be. I'm like, the person that just said whose hair it could be, it's your hair. I point at him, like, it's your hair. And this guy Bailey and I are pretty cool. He's the only person with long gray hair in the kitchen. Yeah. Everybody else is black.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of long, straight gray hairs coming off of black people unless they get their hair permed out. And so I'm like, it's definitely your hair. Well, not to be outdone, there's a new guy in the kitchen. His name is Michael Myers. He's a dishwasher. If you're in Chatham County and you looked at the Gazette Alestlog Facebook page, he got arrested June 27th, I think. Named Michael Myers. And people like obviously roasting this dude.
For a knife
His
crime?
mugshot is for indecent exposure. But here's how you know it's what it was. Decent exposure, drunk in public, and like fighting arrest. He was drunk peeing behind a dumpster or something, or shitting in a pizza box, something, and got caught. And so I go back.
I think you can get registered for
he
that
goes,
shit.
can I have that sandwich? And I was like, I wanted to throw it away. He's like, oh, no, can I have it? I was like, sure. He's like, no one took a bite of it. I'm like, she put her hand on it. Could I have it? He goes, I don't care. This is pre me knowing about his arrest that I ran into later. And was like, sure, man. Then I saw it was like, oh, this makes sense. This got eat or somebody. So anyways, obviously, I was like, I told the manager, so we're comping app, sandwich, dessert. She's like, I mean, I guess. I'm like, we're comping. I'm not asking anymore. I'm telling you, someone's got a hair in their food. You're going to comp their appetizer, their entree, and their dessert. You make them get a dessert if they don't even want one, just so you can take it off the bill to show them, like, thank you for being cool. Because she was super cool. Manager went over there. She was super cool. She's like, well, I guess we could do that. I'm like, we are doing that. I'm telling you. I'm not asking you right now. This is protocol.
That tiny loss
is nothing.
Is nothing compared to the dividends that it will pay when that person
seven top. I could tell someone who's been in the industry. They're younger. They're social media, savvy. They're talking about that stuff. You want to do this, and the manager's 29, so she's not as seasoned as I am.
Sure. Which
is always fun getting boss around by somebody who has 13 years less experience than you, and actually only bartended at Wild Wing for a few years, so like not a ton of experience, but doing the best you can. Anyways, so I comp that. I'm like, here's the bill, 30% cash tip.
Nice. Chef's kiss.
And when they leave, the girl who I loved said, I hope your day gets better after what you've had to deal with.
She heard.
Scallops. She heard the scallops.
So Karens aren't born, they're made.
Yes.
Right? If you have bad experiences, like finding a hair in your food when you're 24 years old, and the server doesn't at least try and comp you, apologize, not make a deal out of it, not start asking questions like, you sure it's not your hair? That's the genesis of Karens.
Oh yeah.
If you would have approached it differently, if you would have let the kitchen or the manager decide that fuck her for saying there's a hair and it's not my hair.
We'll just give her another sandwich. Yeah.
If you hadn't
it's
done
probably
that,
her hair.
If you hadn't done that, you could have spawned a Karen that would have affected your children at some point, or our children.
Yeah.
Karens aren't born.
Karens aren't beat enough. That's for damn sure.
They're made. So, but speaking of food, fine food, like we were talking about earlier. Oh, no. Speaking about fine drinks that people love. I'm glad you mentioned this because I almost forgot about this. I get a blue helicopter situation the other day.
We need a siren for that.
Blue helicopter. I immediately Arnold
Schwarzenegger. What's the get to the chopper?
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper. That could be your blue helicopter sound. Get to the chopper.
So redneck-ish older couple comes up. Guy gets right at the beginning. I can tell they're like they're from a small town and they're used to Debbie, their lady that knows exactly what they want. That's up to their table right at the moment. So they sit down. They're like they're kind of snippy.
Yeah.
Ultra in the water. Right. I was like, cool, whatever. I'm not really that bothered by them because we're kind of busy and like I just didn't give a shit. I was like, you guys getting food? Yeah. Bring them the food. Bring them the menus. A few minutes later, they're like, we're going to wait a little while, but, we'll get food in a minute. All right, so now we've taken it down a level. Like, I'm like, okay, at least they're not like, wait on me, wait at my every whim.
Immediately
like, yeah. So the guy goes, hey, bud, you ever heard of a insert fucking name here? It wasn't Blue Helicopter, but it might as well have been something.
An electric handstand.
Well, not even that. It wasn't even close. It was called
something you had never heard of before.
Yeah, it was called like a Clark T. Griswold.
You ever heard of a St. Augustine sidecar?
Yeah. A Granddaddy's Grasshopper, a Florida Fluoride. I don't know. Whatever the thing was. So he said it.
A strip club.
So he said it, and I go, would that be a Long Island with blank or blank?
Yeah.
And fucking of course it was.
Yeah.
All right. So what it was a Long Island. No triple sec, please. Add an extra shot of tequila and melon pucker. All right, here's the thing.
You don't need an extra shot in a Long Island. Wait, you're using the mix?
All right, so here's the thing. We use the mix. And I knew.
So you might need the extra shot.
So here's the thing. Well, I assumed that he would kind of eyeball me because if you're ordering something super specific like that, they might want you to actually take all of the separate liquors, which is a waste of time anyways. Because you'd rather have the mix. If you want a cheap Long Island, you want it all white liquors anyways. You don't want a bunch of different random colors in there and all that shit. So I used the mix. I put the sour in. I put an extra shot of tequila in, and the melon liqueur in, and I mix that up.
You guys use a lot of melon liqueur, so it's probably that bottle is probably what. I don't know. There's a kid driving a car somewhere now. Unload. I can't
remember the last time
I've told the story about it before. I think about me going up there and getting either Kahlua or Bailey's.
Yeah.
Had a date at my house out here, and I was like, fuck, I'm missing this one ingredient for whatever I needed. So I was like, hey, I drove it there. I was like, can I have a cup of Bailey's for whatever I'm making? Yeah. And you were like,
did you get, I was like, you don't want this yogurt.
You know what? You sure? And I was like, yeah. And then like you handed it to me. It was cool because you put it in this cup holder. It doesn't slosh to spill because it's solid. I got back to the house and we were like, you know what? We'll skip this ingredient.
So then I mix all the things that because the typical Long Island is all of those ingredients plus sour and then Coca-Cola on top.
Yeah.
So I mix all the
sour and melon. Sour melon. Okay.
So I mix all those things together before.
This guy have all of his teeth?
But he did actually.
Okay.
Don't know if they were real though.
Okay.
Could have been
too many teeth suspects.
Too many teeth. Kind of.
He's talking like that, and you're like, wait a minute.
No, you know what? I can tell when people have dentures by the way that they speak, and he didn't. So I put the splash of Coke on top. This is an ungodly color of a drink. Like this is a color that does not occur in nature. This is not a color that you want to see. Okay, it looks like the LA River or something like that. It's just so
it's like a weird color of brown.
There's
no crayon to describe this.
Brown is the worst color. Somehow this is worse than brown.
Yeah, then I'll get it there.
All right, it would be algae and when that lady ate oysters out of season, what her poo looked like.
Okay.
Those together, it was the gnarliest colored thing I've ever seen. I give it to the guy and I hide for a minute because I'm like, he might die if he drinks this. So
you didn't do the straw taste? You don't straws.
We don't have straws.
Damn.
So
you should pull a straw out of your pocket.
I hand it to the guy, and I duck out of the way for a second. And I'm like, all right, I got to make eye contact. So I peek around the corner. He's almost flagging me down like he just hit that 1.5 billion lottery. He goes, brother, this is the best Marlon Monroe's grasshopper I've ever had. I was like, are you serious? He goes, yeah, brother. Make my wife one. Take a little taste out of it. I was like, you know what?
Got to now.
Now I have to.
I'll drink antifreeze once.
I mixed it all together. Literally, I poured it in. It tasted like antifreeze, and it had the spice of wasabi somehow, or horseradish.
What?
It was
that front tongue bite?
It was like if you poured tequila over a 9-volt battery and stuck it to your tongue.
So tequila, ecto cooler, and a 9-volt battery.
Ecto Cooler, yes. But like the original print run of Ecto Cooler.
Well, there's like recipes to make. Been watching The Bear. A lot of people listening probably have been watching The Bear.
I'm talking about the
But
original.
He makes
Ecto
homemade
Cooler.
ecto cooler for a kids party. And spoiler, if you haven't seen the episode, they accidentally put like half a bottle of Xanax in there. And it's a kids party. They're like 10 to 12 years old, or whatever.
At least they slept.
And the guy who's like making the host of the party walks out and is like, "I'm okay with this."
So what do you think that I was afraid of happening after I made
You liked it.
No, I hated it.
Oh, okay.
I hated it. What else do you think that I was afraid of besides a drain in the middle of my shower?
Someone else being like, "Oh, I want one too."
He talks one more person into getting it. Now, for me, it's not super hard to
You
make.
might get to this bottle of melon before
That's
it's over.
right. For me, it's not like super hard to make, and it's not that big of a bitch, and we're not that busy.
But every time you make it, you're just kind of cringing.
Well, I only made it one more time because I made it for that person, and they were like, "Okay," and they're trying to be polite.
Can I get a Sprite on
They're
the
trying to be
side?
polite to this old couple, you know.
How old is this guy?
60. But he might be a Mennonite, and he could be 42. I don't know. That's the thing.
Old enough to not have the ID. Okay, so
And yeah, so this other lady gets it, and I was like, "You don't have to pay for that. Don't worry." You know, like all ingredients said and done for that thing that I made probably cost like 80 cents. Really, you know. So she's just sitting there trying to drink and be polite. So I'm thinking this dude's going to sit there and drink 10 more of these or whatever because he loves it so much. They only have one each. 100% tip off of someone that I thought I was going to get a 10% tip off of.
that's pretty good. You ever went through a strong drink phase when you were younger? So I'm a math guy, you know, a little scientist in me. When I was younger, I justified to myself that getting strong drinks saves you money in the long run.
Every kid did that.
I would drink Coke and 151.
Oh yeah.
And I made a drink that we called Jump. It was in a Jump Rope for Heart water bottle. That's how I made it the first couple times. It was 10 shots of Wild Turkey 101 and 5 with enough Coke to fill up the rest of it, like 5 to 6 shots of Coke. And we called it Jump because I had the Rope for Heart bottle, and I would just sip on that throughout like a whole night of drinking and just get lit off that. But with the 151 and Cokes, when they had bottomless cup nights at bars, used to do that. I don't know if they still do, but like it would be bottomless cup till 10 o'clock. Well, just bring a gallon of water. It's empty. Just keep orders 151 and Cokes, strain the ice, and pour it into the gallon in the parking lot in your car.
Oh, God.
And save it so when it turns 10 o'clock, bottomless cups are done. I'll just have a Coke. And then you just titrate it in.
So titrate, it returned. That's very tenable. We had the B-252 bomber. Can you guess what a B-252 bomber is?
Well, it's not a real plane, right?
It's only 2 ingredients.
Go ahead.
Wild Turkey 101 plus Bacardi 151 equals B-252.
Yeah, that's right. What's the other? All right, there's a few of those. There's the Four Horsemen: Jack, Jim, Jose, and
Johnny. Any Scotch would work though.
Yeah.
Any of the you could do the cheap.
The Four Horsemen, the 252. We didn't call it. What did we call it?
Wiley had a drink called the 2012, which was
That's right.
which was tequila and 5-hour energy mixed together.
Things I don't need.
There's some visceral reaction from the camera crew over there.
But if you meet Wiley, you go, okay, I see it. I can see it.
Someone out there in their earbuds are like, oh yeah,
Yeah, I see that.
5-hour energy.
One of the ones I did growing up, which I'm not proud to admit this.
None of us are proud.
It was hot chocolate and vodka, which was not good at all.
Hey,
Vanilla vodka,
No,
hot
it was-
chocolate,
it was just
Bailey's,
like-
and Bailey's.
Yeah,
You got
hot
it?
chocolate.
Whatever I could like snag.
the first thing I ever got drunk off of, Kahlua and milk. So no hate.
First drunk.
That was what I had. That was what I had in my house, Kahlua and milk.
Your first drunk. All right, my first drunk. Come here. This is good. So the first time.
At 21, definitely.
Yeah, definitely at 21. for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I didn't even live this house when I was. So my first time getting drunk, I went behind my parents at a bar in our house when I was a kid until I was like 13 or 14. We moved somewhere else, like a full stocked bar. They had big parties and stuff. Like it was like my dad would sit there and bartend for Christmas parties and stuff. So I was like, I want to get drunk with my friend. So we took probably a jump over our water bottle, whatever. We took a water bottle and just put a little bit of everything,
The suicide.
of everything behind the bar in there.
Yeah, I've done it.
And
I've done it with Gatorade.
I didn't
It
get
was-
drunk that night because I pretended to drink it and my friends
Yeah.
did. And I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
this is disgusting. I'm not doing this.
We did it with Gatorade. It would be every liquor that was at the person's parents' house. and then a little Gatorade on top.
Oh, I got drunk on Gatorade and vodka when I was like 14.
Back at Huckapoo's, they went through a phase where they only drank Yoo-Hoo and vodka.
Vanilla vodka and Yoo-Hoo
At
is
9
good.
o'clock at night, they would go get 10 Yoo-Hoos, mix it with vodka. So do not feel shameful about hot chocolate and vodka.
No.
This
Well,
is
it's like
culture.
you're telling yourself like, oh, this thing's really gross, but this is delicious. This is going to work out.
If I can meet in the middle.
And it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
Vodka is stronger. Vodka is greater than hot chocolate in power. My sister, when she she was lucky or unlucky enough to have an older sibling who was near to well at times. So she wanted to go drink with her friends at 21 or whatever fucking age she was, probably like 14 or 15. She's like, I don't like the taste of alcohol. What can I mix with apple juice? And I was like, I guess vodka would be the best thing. I mean, look, she's 14 or 15. I'm 17 or 18. I don't know. And maybe apple juice. I mean, like, Crown apple. I don't know. Apple juice is not a good mixer for alcohol because it's not strong enough. However, she went out and got lit. And when she came home, she puked under the stairs before she went back up into the house. Grown tabby, so the house is lifted. She puked under the stairs a bunch.
And your dad was there with the clipboard with their punishments, ready to go.
And she went inside and like pretended to be okay. And the next morning at like 6:30, I went to get paper and was like, "Well, Clint ain't here, and he's not a pussy." So there's a pile of puke.
It smells like an apple orchard down here, but not the good kind.
Yeah. Well, sorry, Charlotte, but hey.
Hey, whatever.
I got Charlotte a fake ID for her 16th birthday that said she was 19. So when she turned 18, she'd be 21 on it.
Oh, God. Look at you.
Yeah.
Did it say Muhammad on there? It's the most common name in the world. Read a book, won't you?
Charlotte Muhammad
Charlotte
King.
Muhammad King. All right, so we're going to make a call to action.
A call to action, yes.
If you know any chefs, and I'm talking about like
A chef.
not
hot dogs and shells and cheese chef.
no, and I'm not talking about super white coat chef either. I'm talking about in the trenches.
Yeah.
Chefs that would hate front of house type of guys.
Over 35.
Over 35, yeah.
33.
Now, should we say our biggest, who we want the most?
So
Should we put it out there like that?
I'd like to get Mir Ali of Lily's Restaurant, Bar and Grill, and
Because we
taco
both
stand.
because we both know him.
I opened that restaurant with him. I worked there for 3
we've
years.
worked with him before. He's
Yeah.
just ornery enough,
Yes.
but well spoken.
Well spoken. They are closed on Mondays. I mean, I'm hitting him up tomorrow to be like, hey, look, come on,
Yeah.
man. Come on.
and he's worked at numerous restaurants. And the
So
reason he's
if
worked at a
those
lot of
you that know
restaurants.
Mir, if you haven't seen Mir on the podcast by the time you hear this, which you wouldn't have because he hadn't been here, mention it to him. Be like, hey, you should do. Let's get on that podcast.
Yeah, he's our number one get because every new restaurant that he's worked at is because he's been recruited from another, because they know.
I mean, our buddy Jaderic would be great, but he also is the chef for the restaurant that I worked at for 6.5 years and I don't work at anymore. And they just posted their menu yesterday. Holy fucking price increase. It is ridiculous. Chicken dish is $36. That's what I'm saying.
Chicken.
Springer Mountain chicken. And it's a good dish, but it's not.
Chicken.
You give me chickens you can buy for $36.
Chicken.
At least 15 for a Mexican guy. So, yes,
right.
if a chef you would like to be on. Wait, I have a chef. This guy. Come here. I have a chef for you. Guy's won like multiple awards. Multiple award-winning chef. Like 10 Emmys. This guy's name is Scott. I can't remember his last name. He's with a J, I think.
Jacob.
Scott Jacobs, chef de cuisine for the Stars. He taught Wolfgang Puck how to cook.
Maddie immediately knew. He got me on the phone so fucking bad the other
I
night.
had to.
He goes, dude, I've got the perfect guy, Scott. I was like, oh, Scott, huh? Which Scott?
You're like, not Scott from over here. And I was like, no, it's got. He's won a bunch of awards. It's there were Emmys.
I think I'm still Facebook friends with his daughter. If you want me to.
Yeah, please. Yeah. If we could,
We'd like to know.
we'd
someday.
love to have Scott on.
Yeah.
He could bring his Emmys.
Put him right here.
Give us some clout, man. We could really,
I mean, you got 10. You can just give me an Emmy.
like piggyback off of him.
Yeah. His reach has got to be enormous.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a chef at Circa for like, God, I didn't want to put it in almost 100 hours.
Yeah, at least, yeah.
Not time clocked in to last clock out. That time at home also included that 100 hours.
But yeah,
So, yes.
holler at us and please subscribe to the YouTube if you'd like to look at us.
And you got a tease last week of some of our Patreon stuff.
Yeah.
Some revealing things about me. If you haven't gone and looked at the fucking picture of me at prom in the 11th grade, it's on our Instagram. Comment, talk shit. That's fine. I am.
If you talk enough
awkwardly-
shit, we might have another picture for you.
I've got. Paxton and I went through. I pulled out my photo album when I was a kid, I used to dodge cameras, so there's not a lot of pictures of me when I was like high schoolish age. But there's ones.
He was treating it like the Ark of the Covenant. I couldn't get my phone anywhere near.
No.
Hit this photo
I've got
album.
pictures on my phone of them, and I've shown people like, "Ooh, send me that." I'm like, no, this is mine.
He is holding on to them.
Because they're look. I'm just saying. You think Paxton's got some bad hair? Woo, buddy! I made some questionable hairstyle choices in my life.
This is a
That is a highfalutin 1800s British haircut.
yes.
Compared, it's a wig, the powdered wigs.
Woo.
But we're gonna do a Patreon after this. I'm gonna get really high here, and we'll.
But yeah, thank you, Franklin and Maddie, for helping
Thank
us
you so
out
much,
this
Tony.
week.
We appreciate it.
And listen, follow us on Instagram. Oh yeah, we got.
Thank you guys. We appreciate it.
I'm gonna do this blind.
And for you.
And we'll see you next week.